Dynamic duos have been a part of our history from time immemorial. They come from all fields, including crime fighting, entertainment, business, and so on. And now the Missing Elements has its own dynamic duo, the Tarot Team. Joanna Dickey and Tyree are teaming up to bring you a day of tarot readings. It's Saturday, June 8th from noon till 3 p.m. here at the Missing Elements, 1018 East New Circle Road, Suite 114 in Lexington. Come by the store between noon and 3 p.m. and choose who you want to do your reading, and we'll make it happen. It's the Tarot Team, June 8th at the Missing Elements, 1018 East New Circle Road, Suite 114 in Lexington, from noon till 3 p.m.
No.
Well, hello there.
Howdy, guys. Happy whatever day today is.
I think it's Tuesday.
Well, I'm not sure. Happy whatever day today is, and I hope you're having a delightful one. But, oh my goodness. We got a couple of fun announcements, and then we'll kind of get into the topic for tonight. It should be pretty interesting, at least we hope so.
We may have a special guest.
We may have a special guest. That is we're not sure yet, but might. So a couple awesome things that we in the Spirit Mechanics have going on is this week, since it is a new month, Spirit Mechanics has a new Thursday Night Live topic. This month is actually paranormal stuff, and that's part of what we're going to be getting into tonight is kind of a bit of a teaser for the Thursday Night Live. So the Thursday Night Live this week is the Paranormal versus Paradolias. The live next week is about attachments and the different types. And in between those two, we have the Tarot Team going here at the shop on the 8th.
Yep.
So that's going to be super fun. Where are we at, Tyree?
Where are we at? We are at 1018 East New Circle Road, Lexington, Kentucky. Suite 114.
Yes.
40505. And that is the Missing Elements.
If you have Google Maps, it'll pull up immediately if you type in the Missing Elements. And if you have Apple Maps, 1018 New Circle, East New Circle.
Yep.
So, continuing on through our announcements, the 13th, the SMX Live is going to be over attachments and the different types of attachments. The 15th and 16th is the local gig here in Lexington over at the Clarion Hotel. It's going to be pretty awesome this month. It's going to be in the conference center again. Last month was the first month back in that area, and I'm really excited to see what this month brings.
This should be fun.
Yup.
You'll get to see our buddies from Rocky Hounds, Deb.
Yeah.
Also get to meet Druzy Does It.
Yeah, April with Druzy.
Joanna.
Ken Boggle should be there.
Joni.
Yeah. All the locals, all the staples. Yeah. So go out, give it a shot. Something fun that's going to be happening that next week is actually the summer equinox? Summer solstice.
Yeah, summer solstice is coming up. Yeah.
I want to say it's the 17th. So after that, on the 22nd, we are going to be at Mystic Nights in Ohio. It's the second time it's ever happened there, and it's actually at a winery. It should be pretty freaking awesome. I'm excited.
Oh, did you go last year?
Yeah, those wine slushies were awesome.
Yeah, those wine slushies were awesome. But rumor has it they are going to come up with wine glasses for merchandise. Maybe t-shirts. Let's see, what else is?
Well, and I know that they were talking about having food trucks and food vendors and
Oh, yeah, they got 2 food vendors this time.
And something else, we might have something pretty awesome scheduled out for y'all with spirit mechanics. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we'll be able to make that happen for y'all. That one's still up in the air though, but once we have more information, we will absolutely let you know.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't get to go this year.
It's okay. I'll drink a wine slushy for you.
That works. Bring one back.
It'll be so melted.
No.
What do you mean no?
You buy it, then you run it down to me, then you go back.
And then the last Thursday of the month is Tarot Night Live, as always, where if you have stars that you want to send in, it'll bump you to the top of the list and you have a chance to have a reading from all the readers present if that's what you so choose. If not, and you're looking for just a free reading, we do those at the last Thursday of every month. So check it out. Come join us. We'd love to have the party.
Yeah. Also, on Father's Day, I will be doing half-price sound healings again. So that is $15 sound healings for Father's Day from 10 to 7. So come see me. Get a sound healing.
Tyree sound healings are freaking awesome if I'm being completely unbiased. They actually help a whole bunch. So if you have different things going on, you can use the tuning forks on you. The sound bowls are super relaxing.
Yeah, I've had people fall asleep on my table with the sound bowls.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that actually hits enough of the right notes that relaxes me so you can actually work on me.
Yeah, that is true. Oh.
So,
Is that all the announcements?
I hope.
Hey, producer, is that all the announcements? Okay.
Awesome.
As we said here in Sip Our Tea.
Yeah, Tyree made a really good batch this go. I'm very excited about it, actually. I don't remember what you put in it today.
It is blackberry citrus, blackberry and citrus, something with an H.
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus, yeah, thank you. And lavender and elderflower. They all just blend in so nice.
They do. It's very calming and it's very nice. I'm not going to let the intrusive thought win and boop the...
Yeah, he does. We don't need to be popping the microphone.
I let the intrusive thought win, guys. It's okay.
So what's our subject tonight?
We are talking paranormal tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just got off 2 cases.
No, we got off 2 investigations.
2 investigations, yes. Well, I call them cases. They turned into cases.
Whoa. We did get some awesome evidence though from both places. Because where were we at last week?
I don't know. Do we want to name the names of the places or leave that in limbo so people will watch us on YouTube?
We'll leave it up to the other mechanics on Thursday to talk about. But
so, yeah, we're gonna leave that up to the media team.
Yeah, that works. We want to make sure all of our T's and I's are crossed.
Dotted and everything else. We don't want to get our butts in trouble.
But that does remind me, we have another episode of Bridging the Gap airing this week on Friday at 9 p.m.
Which one's this?
That is the show on YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, do you know which?
Oh, it should be Octagon Hall.
Who?
Yeah, it should be Octagon Hall.
Yeah, if it's Octagon Hall, yeah, watch that.
Freeman did an Estes method for far longer than he should have.
Well, you know, if people tell me instead of falling asleep.
I wasn't there. you will not see a wild Pat show up on this episode, but after this episode, I should be at least on a couple.
Yep.
But
So yeah, the Octagon Hall. When we went down there, it was fun.
so I've heard. But as far as paranormal, what you wanted to talk about tonight?
So let's see. For the past 2
Weeks?
investigations, which was your favorite, the first or second?
I don't know. They were different. The second. This one we just recently did. What about you?
Well, the first one I got electrocuted, so yes, I'm going to say the second one.
So, you take a medium into a haunted place, specifically a physical one,
Yeah.
you're probably going to get at least shown a little bit of why they died or how they died.
So yeah, that first one.
It was just so hot in the building, y'all. Like, it was hot in the building. But we got a lot of good evidence, and we got a lot of cool stuff on camera, and a lot of unique things that I hadn't seen. Granted, as far as years go of experience on the team, I am definitely one of the ones with the fewest as far as paranormal go, like as far as years of experience. But I hadn't seen a couple of the things that we were actually able to catch on camera at the first place, and definitely not. Well, the second place was a bit more intimate, like as far as size. It was a lot smaller.
It was smaller, and yeah, it was a little bit more intimate than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much so that we were, stacked on top of each other. It was just sort of wow, there's only a handful of us here, but there's just the right amount of space. So it was good. I really like this last investigation.
I actually had the right amount of space with the right amount of people.
Mm-hmm. So honestly, part of that and the snacks make it work. We had Little Caesars at this last one. That's probably my favorite thing, though, is the investigation snacks.
Well, on the second one, I like how we found something totally by accident.
Tyree, which thing?
The gymnasium.
What?
When I turned on the my tablet, and then we were all running around the gymnasium trying to find it because it kept blinking, and we were trying to make sure what it was. If it was the stack of chairs, if it was the little wagon that Raymond went dancing around the room with.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Okay, now I'm on the same page. I'm like, to me, that's not a gymnasium, but I forgot that it was previously a gymnasium.
Yeah.
The more you know, guys. Also, sleep helps a lot. Sleep helps a whole lot. So what's your favorite thing on investigations, Tyree?
What was that?
What's your favorite thing to either find or have on an investigation?
Well, my favorite thing to find on an investigation is the truth.
Fair enough. Okay.
And to prove what we're there to prove. What about you?
I said the snacks.
So
No, if I'm being honest, just evidence in general is really fun to find. I have a couple of pieces of equipment that I tend to flock to just because I really like the reaction that I get with them and the response, because it's very easy for, at least it appears to be a little easier for some things to interact with that item.
Cat balls.
Vortex Dome. Those are probably my two favorites. But, I mean, the spirit box, we actually got a lot of good stuff this last investigation, just because, well, for many separate reasons, but, and we're not going to spoil those because those are going to be on Bridging the Gap episodes.
Yep.
But, as far as various things that we were able to find. It was just really interesting because you could see the different spirits that were there struggling to interact on occasion and then not struggling as they were able to rest up and get their strength back.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. Plus, it also helped that it was on the same physical location as a cemetery. So, it always
That helps.
it does a little bit.
But then again, that's also hard to decide what's actually with the building and what's actually from the cemetery, and if they're crisscrossing and all playing together.
Well, and they were crisscrossing. That's kind of what we were, discussing.
Yeah.
Is that it was a lot of back and forth, and there were a couple of entities that, and spirits that confirmed, yeah, I go back and forth because it's got to be boring doing the same thing over and over forever.
That is true. So when was your first paranormal experience?
I think I've told this story before. So I had purchased a house, and this was a few years ago. I'd purchased a house. And granted, I should have known looking at it that, because if anybody's seen the animated movie Monster House, looks just like it. It's one of those places where you roll up and you're like, that place is haunted as fuck. Yeah. So, because some things had happened variously over my life, but this is the one that I really count as the first big one because, well, it was the first one that I was really okay, there is nope, that happened. So, it's different when you're a kid and, you're like, oh, wow, yeah, the stuff in the dark. Yeah. It's different when you're an adult and you all of a sudden go, oh, fuck, that just happened. But, when the house was purchased,
Hey, our special guest is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our center stage here.
Me. No, I'm just kidding.
Steven from Spirit Mechanics.
Hello.
It's, not the same people. They're literally going to be watching this, but it's okay.
So, we're discussing paranormal.
Yes.
We were discussing our past two locations, but we weren't giving out any information. We were leaving that up to the media team.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case they don't want us to say what location it is.
I see. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
To keep it all secret until...
Doing that media post stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. That doesn't fall on me.
Nope.
So just
that is not my job.
That is not my job.
Just to keep you updated so you don't slip by accident.
Thank you.
Yes, because the only thing that's been alluded to is that there was a cemetery on site of this last one.
Oh, yeah.
And a gymnasium in the last one.
It was a treat. It was a treat. It was definitely one of those locations that was. It didn't disappoint, but in weird ways.
Yeah.
The activity was definitely present, and we did get some decent stuff. It was just weird, really weird. So, yeah. hoping some of that comes out in some of the stuff that the media team's going to be releasing soon. But yeah, I had a good time. I don't know about y'all, but actually I didn't. But actually I did. I had a wonderful time. I didn't have a wonderful ending to the night, but I had a wonderful time.
I would argue same.
Yeah, the ending was unexpected.
But watch Bridging the Gap and catch what we can post.
That absolutely. Some paranormal things, right?
Some paranormal things. So, my first experience.
Yeah, your first experience.
So, bought a house, and definitely should have known that it was going to be haunted as fuck. Because when it looks like Murder House and like Monster House, the animated movie, you're just asking. Yeah. That's a me thing, but that's okay. Come to find out though that it was the 1800 schoolhouse for the local community. Didn't know that. Also didn't know that the previous owner had passed away relatively close to the home. All this stuff was obviously not put in the selling description, so you know. But get settled in the house and things are going kind of wonky, but I start feeling really weird. I really don't like the upstairs, and the specific room is just super freaking creepy. Yes, it was the attic, like that led to the attic, but definitely didn't help, you know, full to the point where the cat was like, no, you're not allowed in there by yourself. I'm like, I can though. I'm a human. I am a strong, independent girl. I can do this. I can walk in this creepy ass room by my lonesome. And the cat's like, nah. But started noticing things crawling down the ceiling at night though, because it was a 2-story house, and so I watched at one point something crawl upside down through the bars of the second story, like the railing, and on the ceiling of the hallway. And it was creepy as shit. It was awful. Then it started getting closer and getting closer, and then it stopped staying on the ceiling and started standing. And then it got closer and closer, and then would just like watch me fucking sleep at night. It was awful. Absolutely atrocious, and it was not an easy thing to have to explain to people or to essentially go, so this is happening to me. I don't know what to do. And luckily was able to get it taken care of and remove myself from that from that place. But to anybody that's ever concerned that they have things going on and they don't know what to do, please reach out. There are people who will actually help you, even if you think there aren't. And if that's the only message that anybody takes away from this, then
Yes,
that's still an awesome thing, because you are not alone. You are not crazy. If you have stuff going on, it is best to get it checked out anyway. At the very least, better safe than sorry. If stuff is going on that's weird, there might be a reason. You know, like finding out that an 1800 schoolhouse was moved to that location and then somebody died. So, but if you got weird stuff, please, please, please reach out. So that's what I would say my first like real paranormal experience was.
Hey, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they reach out to? Because I can't remember the web address.
Oh.
Oh shit.
But in all honesty, you can get a hold of any of us, whether that is Mr. Tyree, Mr. Jerry, or anybody at Spirit Mechanics. You can get a hold of us here at the Missing Elements. Otherwise, any of us will help take care of you, and if we can't, we're going to make sure that we find someone who can. So you can reach out to any of us.
Yep.
Just make sure that you don't do the suffer in silence thing, the they're going to think I'm crazy thing. You have no idea how often, I've been doing what I do for 30 years, and within this 30 years, you have no idea how often I hear, well, you're going to think I'm crazy if I tell you, no. I have literally heard it all. I've dealt with half of it, and I've been party to others who have dealt with the other half. So between me, Davis, who was a partner of mine before Spirit Mechanics, and the other senior and founding mechanics who have been doing what they do for over a decade independently, then a decade with the team, we've got you guys. You are going to be just fine. And we are not going to steer you somewhere that you're not going to be able to find as someone who can help you. So if we have to send you to someone else, it is someone that we've vetted and trust. So we're not going to send you to just some fly-by-night.
No. I know that's kind of a bummer as a first paranormal experience, but, firsties.
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 Your first paranormal experience was more interesting than mine.
I mean, I would interesting is a word.
I mean, it's a safe one. It is. It's tonight's safe word.
Cause yeah, it was creepy as. It was awful. And yeah, now I know a lot more, and I actually know how to get some other people help if they need it. I mean, it's definitely an awesome learning experience, and also just kind of goes to show y'all that if you don't have something going on from the day you're born, it doesn't mean you can't have something that you randomly, hey, I bought a house and it's fucked. So, cheers. So special guest, first paranormal experience. What's up?
So I don't know which one would count as my first. I'm one of those that has things going on since birth. Because it did.
The biggest one that you remember.
The earliest.
Oh, the earliest. As far as a. So.
Whichever one you want to tell.
Oh, don't. not with that one. Because there's a couple that are amazing, but not in a good way.
Interesting is our safe word, Steve.
Interesting is our safe word. But no. One of the first major paranormal experiences that I had that was intense was we at one point lived in some apartments in Nicholasville here in Kentucky. And I was young at the time, about waist high. I can't remember the exact age. But I would wake up in the middle of the night and in the morning in pools of my own blood. And this was not dreams, this was literal. I had covered in it. And at first we thought it was the air, and it was found out that it couldn't have been, gas, heat, and that kind of thing, but when it happens in air conditioning too. And then it came to the point to where my mattress was starting to get affected because it would soak the sheets through and everything. So it wasn't just a little bit of, I woke up and there's blood on my pillow. No. It looked like a crime scene at least once a week. I didn't know this at the time, but there was something that had gotten into the house. It was following my mother. By something, I'm pretty sure you all know what that means. There was an apparition that got into the house. I would cover my head at night because I knew that I was being lurked on, so watched, and I would hear laughing, and the lights would turn on by themselves, different things like that. And Mom would have dreams where she couldn't get into the house, or get into my room, and would beat on the door with me screaming on the other side. Fast forward a little bit, we're in Louisville, and which is also here in Kentucky. Same kind of thing was happening. I was still getting, we'll say, visited, I guess you could call it. But about this time, Mom started to see it, and it was a man who was dressed somewhat nicely with blonde hair, and he would either stand at the end of her bed with a top hat on, or he would turn all the lights on, leave the closet door open, and would lay in her closet on the shelf and watch her with his head in his hand while she slept. And it got to the point to where her dream came true, and she couldn't get into the room. And after that, started seeking a little bit of help. We prayed, we did the thing, we did what you were supposed to do at the time, and that didn't work. So we reached to a family member of ours who came in and did a blessing, and it sort of worked, sort of. And we moved back, got back into town, got back into the old stomping ground, moved back to Nicholasville. It kept going, and I was trained at that point. I had started my instruction with my teacher, and the first thing I did was break this thing's neck. So, an interesting thing happens when you are suffocated. You bleed. Your blood vessels start to break. So the reason why I had blood all over my bed is because I was being smothered in my sleep. My mother was being attacked by something she couldn't fight off, and I made sure it didn't hurt anybody again. That was probably the worst out of all of my experiences, because just like with a lot of people, it lasted a decade before anything was done. It's one of the biggest reasons why I am a huge advocate of people reaching out and getting the help with entities, is because you don't know the extent of the damage, especially if you're living in a home with others. You have kids, you have significant others, you have elderly parents, you have aunts and uncles, whatever, that have taken you in, whatever the situation is. You have other people there. You don't know how they're being affected either. And just because someone says that they're okay, and just because someone says it's not affecting them, doesn't mean, one, they're telling the truth, or two, that the damage isn't real. These kinds of things, everyone wants to, say that it's all sensationalized, which it is. I'm a huge advocate for, kind of bashing media, because they have romanticized the idea of exorcism and made things very difficult for people to come forward, because no one takes them seriously, because when there's another exorcism movie every single month, and another show like Supernatural or Buffy or Charmed or Angel or you start to really think that this is all bullshit and people are trying to capitalize on some kind of new creative idea.
Well, I agree. I agree with you there, because some of the ghost hunting shows that are out there, you get the teams out there, they walk into the building, they're all big and tough, barely wearing any clothes, and they're like, "Hey, give me a sign that you're here." And then they go running down the hallway screaming like a little girl.
I mean,
Barely clothed?
Yes.
what? Well, the 20 something days later, where dude takes his shirt off and fist fights air, saying that he's fighting a demon. That was kind of a thing. But I do think that all spirit mechanics should be required to wear medium-sized tap-out shirts.
I'm good. I'm done. No.
And, everybody, including me, needs to continue or buy themselves some blackout shades or some glasses frames with no lenses in them. That way we can all look like a certain hobbit. But
That's disrespectful to Samwise.
come on, he is the loneliest of hobbits. Samwise had friends. But I'm not a fan. But yeah, So I do take people's stories seriously until they give me a reason not to. And going into that side of it, as both an investigator and a demonologist and an energy worker, you better believe that anybody worth their salt is going to check you out. And this is everything from, who you are to what you do to a mild background check. We're going to ask.
We have to know. We have to know what we're getting into.
People are people. And sometimes people do bad things for very bad reasons. So there's that. The other thing is that please, if you're presenting evidence to somebody who is coming out to help you with some severe activity or trying to give you some kind of confirmation that you have activity, please send some form of evidence. Now, this isn't me saying that, any claim is not going to be accepted, because we do the same. We'll 100% be there for you. We'll listen. We'll give some advice, but we won't come out unless we have a reason. Because one, that is a waste of your time and resources, and it is a waste of ours. So, give us pictures. If you're being physically assaulted, give us pictures of scratches, give us pictures of burns, give us pictures of bruises, give us timelines for those. If you're giving pictures, don't send us orbs. I will dismiss them. Orbs are the most confused as far as paranormal evidence, and the reason why is anything and everything can be mistaken for one. Whether it's dust, whether it's bugs, whether it's particulate in the air, whether it's lens flare, there are reflections. There's a lot of things that it could be other than actual orbs. Don't send me orbs. Send me something that I can see. And I'm not trying to make jokes there. I'm being very serious. Give me something that I can see. And don't, for the love of God, don't draw circles around it. Don't draw arrows to it. Let the investigator see it for themselves. It takes away from the validity and credibility of your evidence when you see it's there, because you're allowing for the mind to go, oh, I guess it is. If someone that doesn't know your situation can look at that picture and go, holy shit, that's what you're looking for. If you're giving EVPs or sounds on video, make sure that it's done in a legitimate space. We've had so many people that were doing EVP recordings that had their friend in the room playing on their phone. And then would literally, and this happened once, we had someone send us a video of someone sitting on the couch. I'm dead serious. Sitting on the couch, literally mid-screen, on their phone, watching Hispanic YouTube, and the lady sent us the video saying that she caught an EVP of someone speaking Spanish. It makes it difficult. Also, if you are telling us a timeline, because we will ask for one, any paranormal team that is looking into disturbance, and especially one that has lasted for a long time, they will ask you for a timeline. It started here, these events happened, this kind of happened to me at these times, this is when it got worse, this is when it got better, this is when it got even more heinous because it slowed for a minute. We're going to want to know. If you can't give us that, then we're going to have to ask different questions. The reason for that is we need to know. It changes the way we investigate. It also changes diagnosis if there's something that we need to get rid of. So if your story continues to change, or if you can't give us proper, timeline of when this stuff started and how it's reacting, it, one, makes it difficult to believe, but two, it makes it very difficult to fix it. Evidence is not hard to collect. Making the conditions right to collect good evidence is what is difficult. Take your time. If it's there, morning, noon, or night, does not matter. Does not have to be nighttime for your shit to be haunted if it's haunted.
That's very true.
I mean, we've told people before for Dead Files cases, we've told people before to literally set their phone up, set your phone up in a room. You don't have to videotape your lives. Set it up in the room that's got the activity and let it run. Set a camera up, let it run. Just let it go. I've even seen some investigators set up ring cams in the home, which is actually pretty cool. It's a pretty good idea. Because you can literally do that. You can set up a ring system, and that way, anytime there's movement, anytime there's a shift in light, anytime there's a noise, it's picked up. Security systems can be used outdoors and indoors.
Oh yeah, because my house is covered in blink.
Yep.
And there's been plenty of times that my camera will go off because it's caught movement, and I'll watch it, and nothing is moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't see anything in the...
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're motion and prox censored. So you get something close or you get something that moves, and it can pick that up. It's really great.
So, that's one thing that I really love about us mechanics. We debunk.
Oh, 100%, y'all.
Yeah, we got to debunk. We just can't go with, okay, I heard this.
Excuse me.
Because there was, at one of the investigations we went to, I was upstairs in our little lovely room that people love.
That is so specific.
It sure is.
Talking to Ross.
Oh,
okay. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Upstairs in that little room.
Yeah.
And actually, I think it was our first class that was there.
Yeah.
And I could hear talking. And I'm like, okay, I'm hearing talking. And it's finally like, I need to go look out the window. And there was a group of people down on the street that was bleeding up into the room. That was sounding like whispers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think at that point we were downstairs taking a smoke break or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was 3 or 4 of us outside.
And it wasn't even
yeah.
us.
So, I mean,
Actually, I think I was outside with Wes and Anita.
that could be.
I think.
Yeah, because I was hearing this talking. It sounded like whispering. It's like, no, I need to go look. This is not sounding all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we debunk. If we hear a noise, we go look for it.
Everything has a reason.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not just metaphysical. There's a reason why it's always mundane first. That being said, that does not necessarily mean that everything is mundane. But that's where the process comes into play.
Yep.
That's why we ask the questions.
Well, that's like at the place this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I kept hearing this beeping. It sounded like a smoke alarm. It was just constantly beeping. I could never find it.
Well, it's kind of like when we were first there, and I kept hearing this like female AI voice. It sounded like Siri. Figured
Well,
out.
we found her.
Yeah.
We sure did. We sure did.
We
Yeah, we
did
found
indeed.
her.
So Tyree, what about your first paranormal experience?
You're going to make me look silly.
What are you talking about?
My first paranormal experience is me waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning with my grandmother standing at the foot of my bed.
See, that's way sweeter than the
That's
shit that we
sweet
went.
though, man. That's sweet though.
I'm actually glad we're ending with that.
No, well, actually, the biggest one, I lived in this little town called Sadieville. And my parents bought this house. And when they bought it, we were told it was one of the first houses built in this little town, which is like 1800s.
Red flag number 1.
Oh no, red flag number 2 is big. So, we had these little puppy dogs. So, we put them in the kitchen with their food and stuff at night. So, my dad built a door out of something like this.
Yeah, as you do.
And it was only half a door. So it only come up to your waist. Every night about 1 o'clock, I would lay in bed and watch this guy walk right through that door.
Did he ever bother you?
No,
He just wanted to hang out with the puppies.
I would hear him come through the back door. He'd walk through the kitchen door, through my bedroom, through my bed, into the living room, and out the front door.
The same pattern every night?
Yep,
Okay, so it was an echo.
that's what I'm assuming now. Back then, I didn't know anything about echoes.
Oh,
I
of
mean-
course. Of course.
But he didn't scare me, so.
See, that's not bad. Tell us about the grandma one. That one sounds sweet.
That's much sweeter, man.
Yeah.
That's wholesome as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, my grandmother, they put her in a nursing home.
Uh-huh.
And out of all honesty, I still think I'm the last one she actually spoke words to. Because for some odd reason, all the adults leaves a 12-year-old in a room with their grandmother who's on the verge of passing. All the adults just decide to go get coffee and leave me hanging there by myself. So she reaches up, grabs my hand, looks me dead in the eye, and says, "Jesus is coming for me."
Good for her.
Actually.
And at that point in time, I felt somebody walk up behind me.
Okay, that's creepy. But still good for her.
Yeah. So I go home. On the way home, I'm telling my parents this because everybody else just started mumbling. Nobody ever actually heard her say words. And they drop me off at my aunt's house. They go to see her. They come back. She had passed. That night at 1 o'clock in the morning, no, 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and she's standing at the foot of my bed.
Were you scared?
No.
That's so wholesome.
I was like, "Oh, hi. I'm going back to sleep now."
And she's like, "I told you so," and dips. Yeah.
That's so wholesome.
But see, now that I'm thinking about it, since I'm developing mediumship stuff, I'm wondering if I actually heard her talk or if it was through her mind.
That's pretty interesting. That
Because
is
everybody else heard mumbles. I heard actual words.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Telepathy is a thing.
Yeah. So
That's neat.
that's
That's so wholesome and sweet, isn't it? Like, dang.
but see, at that point in time, nobody would believe me.
Yeah, that's the kicker.
Yeah.
It took something else to get my parents to make them believe what was going on with me. And that was, I went 7 weeks, no sleep,
Shit!
none whatsoever. I refused to go to sleep.
That should have killed you.
I was about dead. Oh, I wasn't the only one not sleeping. My parents weren't sleeping either because I'd cranked my music up really loud. They
Oh.
weren't sleeping either
Why weren't you wanting to sleep?
because I kept having nightmares. I kept having nightmares that this guy was walking through this wheat field, coming towards me to take me away.
Is it the same one every night?
Same one every night. And my mother finally was like, hey, you need to go to sleep. No, I don't.
Man.
She's like, yeah, you do. Then you need to make the old man get out of my dreams. And she's like, old man? I was like, yeah. She's like, describe him. What's he look like? So, I'm like, well, he's about yay tall. He's got this big hat. He's smoking a cigarette. He's wearing bib overalls. Got some sort of flannel shirt on. She's like, hang on a second. She goes to her bedroom. Pulls out those photo albums. Comes back. Is this the guy you're seeing in your dreams? Yeah, that is him. Get him out of my dreams. That is your grandfather. I described the picture to a T. Never seen him. Never met him. She never talked about him. She didn't. She had nothing nice to say about him, so she refused to talk about him.
Fair enough.
And I described him to a T. Come to find out, he was coming to visit me to let me know when there's trouble with the family.
God's our thing.
He died 4 years before I was born. And he was murdered.
Oh, shit.
Down on 7th Street.
No.
He was stabbed
Oh, fuck.
by his mistress.
Man, this tea's good.
Wow, this water is water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's water.
Mm.
I'll have to tell you that. I'll have to tell you this story off the air.
So, guys, what was y'all's first paranormal experience? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, just let us know in the comments.
What'd you think of our stories? Because I'm also curious about that. PSA: don't buy houses that look like murder house. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. They might be cheap, guys. There's a reason they're fucking cheap.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
I think it's
Safely.
I think it's illegal for realtors to disclose important information, such as people dying in or near the house.
Yeah. I don't even think that's the thing though. Is I don't think anybody knew except for the neighbors. It was one of those types of like
Oh, that's excellent.
situations is where they came up to the house one day and they were just like, "Oh yeah, you didn't know about that?" I'm like, "No, I didn't freaking know." Oh yeah, he
So,
died
yeah.
like less than 3 blocks away. I'm like, "Oh, okay, great, awesome." He wasn't who I was seeing, but debunking and stuff.
Oh yeah, you didn't ask me about the second red flag, about the guy walking through my kitchen door.
Okay, no. What was red flag number 2?
Oh, see, there's this nice big empty lot beside the house that my parents decided to buy,
Uh-huh.
and they got it like really cheap. Just an empty lot.
Sus.
Okay, what burned down?
I don't know if it burned down or not, but it probably did because it was Sadieville's First Baptist Church.
Hey, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Oh, shoot, buddy. Woo.
And I didn't find that out until I started doing ancestry research.
Oh,
And I found that out totally by accident.
That is fantastic.
They had the Christian. They had the Christian church on one corner, and they had the Baptist church on the other corner.
Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm.
It's awesome when you can look back. Hindsight really is 2020, y'all.
Crystal clear.
Oh, you know that. Oh. So, if you have things happening and you're concerned about them, or you're like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just something small. It might still help to get it checked out, y'all. Be safe, because like Steve was saying earlier, you don't know how it's affecting the other people around you, even if it's just your friends that are coming to see you in wherever it is that you're staying. So there are protections that you can put in place. We've done a couple of Spirit Mechanics lives on that, and check out the next couple of lives that we've got stacked up for Spirit Mechanics on Thursdays. Hopefully that'll help answer a couple of y'all's questions. If y'all do have questions for those, come prepared for them. Toss them in the comments. We'll answer them as we can. And yeah, just reach out, guys, if you need anything. We love y'all.